Hi, my name is Alan, and I'll be going over the basic functions in Java. Before we start, we'll be covering programming fundamentals, variables, strings, math, data types, booleans, scanner, if statements, and a small project. After that, I'll be providing a solution. First off, learning to think like a programmer allows creating projects to become easier. What I think are the most important factors of thinking like a programmer are finding different perspectives and breaking down larger problems into a step-by-step process. Finding a different perspective allows you to work around barriers, which is especially helpful preventing you from being stuck on a problem. Also, having the skills to break down a problem simplifies the project into manageable parts. Moving on, the steps of creating a code should look similar to what is shown. Step 1. Find the main task at hand. Step 2. Separate the task into smaller tasks. Step 3. Code and debug each problem. Step 4. Organize the code to make it look clean. Step 5. Test every part of the entire program to find bugs. Step 6. Save the code. Alright, let's begin to code. If you want to follow along, go to replit.com and create an account. Replit is a fully online IDE where you can create projects without having to download an application. To create a new file, scroll down to Create and choose the language of your choice and pick a name for it. For now, I'll call it Test1. Alright, we can now begin to code. The first thing we want to look at is this line, system.out.println hello world. So if we click run, it should print hello world. We can change this up a bit by adding a variable. String x equals hello world. Now we have to change hello world to x. So if we run it, it should print hello world. Alright, we can also do things like combining strings. For example, hello plus world. Now if we run it, we should get hello world. But there seems to be no space between these two words. To fix that, you can either add a space after hello or a space before world. So if we run this now, our problem should be fixed. You can also combine integers like numbers, for example, 15 plus 5. Alright, so there seems to be an error. That's because we have the wrong data type. We have to change string into int because we're working with integers. So if we run this now, it should equal 20. Other math expressions are subtraction, it should print out 10, division, so it should print out 3, and multiplication. Now, if we want to do this with decimals, like 15.14.5 and 4.5, it should print out 20. Alright, so there seems to be another error. That's because integer can't hold decimals. We have to change it into a float or a double. So now if we run that, it should work. Oh well, I guess my math was a bit wrong though. If we change this to 15.5, it should print out 20. Well, since we've only been changing the numbers from the code, maybe we should make it as input. To work that, first we have to import scanner. So we have to write import java.util.scanner. Alright, now that we have scanner, we can make a new variable with the data type as scanner, and I'll make this variable called input equals new. And equals new scanner system.in. Alright, so we can change this a bit. make double x equal input. Alright, since we can't print out input directly, we have to use a placeholding variable. Alright, so there's an error. That's because input can be anything and not just a double. To fix this, we have to write input.next double in parentheses. So if we run it now, it should give us the option to input anything. Alright, so let's put in a number and it'll print as a double. We can also add 5 to make sure that it's working properly. So if we run it again, we can maybe put in 20 this time. It'll print 25. Let's move on to if statements now. We should just delete this. We also don't really need the scanner, but we can just leave that there. So let's first make a variable. Int temp equals 30. To write an if statement, you have to write if, a set of parameters, and a response. Alright, so inside the parameter, let's put in temp. If temp is greater than 30, let's make it print out system.out.println. It's a hot day. And we need a semicolon. So if we run this, nothing should happen because 30 is not greater than 30. Alright, let's change this to 45. Now we can see that it prints out it's a hot day. So we should add another if statement, but to do that, we have to use the else if statement. So we have to write another set of parameters. Let's make it temp is less than 20. Alright, so let's make this system.out.println. It's a cold day. Also, let's change this to 15 to see if it prints out it's a cold day. So if we run it, it prints out it's a cold day. Alright, maybe we should input this with a scanner. Scanner, and let's just use input again. Input equals new scanner system dot in. Alright, so we can make int temp equal input dot next int. Okay, so then let's see if it works. We can put in any number. So let's put in 15. Alright, let's run that one more time. Now, what if we input a number that's between a number that's less than 30 but greater than 20? So like 25. So there's nothing that prints out. So let's change that and write an else statement, meaning everything else in it. Let's make that system.out.println. It's warm. So if we run it and try to put in 25 this time, oh wait, we can't forget the semicolon or there'll be an error. So let's run that again. Now if we put in 25, it prints it's warm. Let's move on to Boolean expressions. A Boolean expression is either equal to, meaning it's either true or false, or not equal to. So if we delete the extra if statements and just make it if temp does not equal 30, print out it's a hot day. So if we put in 30, it'll print out nothing. But if we print out something like 25, it'll print out it's a hot day. Same works for equal. So if we input anything other than 30, like 1, it won't print anything. But if we put in 30, it'll print out it's a hot day. Another thing you can add is and or. This means you can have two sets of parameters in just one if statement. To do that, we use the symbol and make it temp is greater than 20 and make it greater than or equal to 20 or less than and equal to 30 and make it it's a perfect day. So now if temp is less than or equal to 30 or greater than or equal to 20, it'll make it a perfect day. So 25 will make it. Alright, looks like I mixed it up a bit. So now if we input 25, it makes it the perfect day. We can also have the or symbol, meaning or, which are two vertical lines, and change it to this greater than or equal to 30 and less than or equal to 20, and change it to it's not a perfect day and run it. If we put in 40, it's not a perfect day. And if we put in 15, it's also not a perfect day. So we can have an else statement. So anything that is less than or equal to 30 and greater than or equal to 20 is it's a perfect day. Alright, it works. Now, before we want 25, I kind of wanted to say temperature. To do that, let's make some more room. And let's put system.out.println. And let's make it temperature : space. Okay, so if we run it now, it should print out temperature before you input anything. Alright, so it works still, but the input's on the next line. To fix this, we have to delete ln, which means it's going to print the next line. So if we delete that, temperature should be on the same line as the input. Now, I want you to create a project called FizzBuzz. What this means is if an input is a multiple of 5, like 5, it prints fizz, and if a number is a multiple of 3, like 6, it enters buzz. If a number is a multiple of both 5 and 3, like 15, it prints FizzBuzz. Finally, if the input is neither a multiple of 5 or 3, like 2, it'll just print out the number. So now, I'll give a couple seconds before I reveal the solution. If not, just skip 5 seconds. Alright, here's the solution to the project. You want to make sure that the FizzBuzz is on top because it's more specific than fizz. Alright, thank you for watching.